look at the XY, that takes out 110 at some point in the first half of this year. That spells sub-parity trade for the euro. We've got to navigate political uncertainty in Germany with elections there in Q1. France has a functioning government. That's reassuring, but look, they are on thin ice. So there's those persistent fiscal uncertainties there in Europe, and at the same time, a muscular US dollar that's benefiting from steady, persistent, above-trend US growth, and a Fed that can't sound the all clear on the disinflation story. I think it's a pretty clear-cut case that euro ultimately trades lower. It's got to be said though, it's heavily overextended. There's a lot of tail risk hedging going on, so a lot of people are positioned for a weaker euro, and that being the case, I do think euro needs to breathe a little bit and could well trade it before it hits parity. It probably has to trade up into 104, maybe even 105 before another good leg lower sets in that sees parity in euro sites.
Indeed. And also in the UK, while we have you, no doubt you've been watching this melt up in gilt yields. At the same time, lots of conversations in Parliament about prospects for fiscal policy as well, and also the UK CPI print. How many times do you think the UK can realistically cut interest rates this year?
Right. Look, I think the BOE is well positioned to be able to cut rates at least 2 times this year, possibly 3 times. That CPI figure was particularly reassuring, especially the services sector inflation detail, which slowed to its down to 4%. That's its slowest annual pace in the post-COVID era. There's a lot more disinflation that needs to wash through the system. But I think broader growth momentum is showing some signs of cooling there, and at the same time, along with that CPI story, I think the BOE is in a position where they can be cutting rates several times, along with tariff risks, which ultimately lands in Europe, more of a concern for growth rather than the inflationary implications. I think that leaves cable as being one of the weaker currencies this year as well.